On this episode of Talk About Topeka, the Docking Building, Downtown Farmers Market, SodaWorks, local events, the Brewster Foundation, and India Fest benefiting TARC.
This episode is sponsored by the Topeka Newsletter, your master list of events in the Topeka area.
All right. Ready to go?
Yes.
In three, two, 1.
Now I see.
Welcome to Talk About Topeka. Oh, we're here with
We got a jokester here with us.
We do have a jokester. He was trying to get our countdown with us.
He's making fun of your countdown.
Well, you know, that's what I do. That's what he does, too. It's Vince Frye from Downtown Topeka Incorporated. How you doing, Vince?
I'm doing great, thanks.
Okay,
you never know what you're going to walk into here, do you?
That's true.
Yeah, in fact, when I walked in, I'm like, what are you going to talk about? Because I know there's a lot of things going on, but you know, it's been kind of nice and quiet. I was expecting it to, I was thinking that people were all going to be kind of flipping out because of the construction, but people are happy. Things are still going smoothly.
Happy. Things are going smoothly. There are some people that are having a little stress.
Sure.
But you would expect that in a construction project. And, you know, trees are coming down, pavements coming up. There's a lot happening, and it's all about progress.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely hearing the progress, and then I step outside and see it. So.
Yeah, sure.
You see it all the time.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, you were also on the news last night. You were talking with some news people about something big that's going on in our city. It's the docking office,
right,
the state office building. A lot of people are heated on both sides about what should happen with this, and this has been, you know, an icon in our city. This has been a big building that has always been there, but people are kind of, you know, it might be a drain with money, or, you know, like what do we do with it if we're not using it appropriately?
Yeah, I think it was built in 1957, so that makes it quick. 57 years.
My math is
43, 57 years.
I think it's 57 years.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Is that
pretty
right?
good, yeah.
So, is that like, if
Like
you
a
hit
golden year.
Well, I know if you hit the 57 on a Heinz ketchup bottle, it just comes out. That makes the ketchup come out. That's all I know for about
Okay.
57.
That's good.
Way to
No.
go, Chris.
Yeah.
There you go.
You keep working on those
Back to the
things.
docking
Yes.
building.
So, you know, it's obviously got a lot of people that work there. There's a lot of history with it. But from what I'm told, it is in bad shape of condition and needs a lot of repair. And that repair work apparently is going to be so expensive that the state believes it's cheaper to take it down and put those employees in other buildings throughout the community. And so that's the discussion going on, and apparently they're at a point where they pretty much have decided that they will take it down within the next 2 years.
Okay, so they have already decided that they are going to take it down.
That's the way I read it. Yes.
Okay, can I tell you what I heard? And this
Okay.
is not, I don't have any privileged information or anything, but what I did hear was that they were going to put a Walgreens up, or they were going to put a CVS pharmacy or something right there. And I'm thinking, but where do you put all those people?
Well, I think there might be some plans for some development, but I think it's across the street on the northwest corner of 10th and Topeka.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There's a lot of people that work in that building. But,
Sure.
Yeah.
I think there's 1,200 people from what I'm told. And so
But
that's
you
a
know,
lot of
going
people.
in on that first level, it is really nice. It's got all that granite and whatever it is, and it's beautiful. It looks pretty nice. It looks like it could just be updated. But in some of the upper levels, I used to work kind of up in there. I didn't actually have an office, but I went up there quite a bit, and it was it just wasn't taken care of.
Yeah.
I think it really boils down to a lot of factors. What is the need for office space? What office space currently exists? You know, that's one question. As far as the building and the structure, I haven't really walked through it or seen much about it. I don't know much about that structure at all. Do I want to see something torn down no, I don't want to see that. But I don't have the answers.
If you could do something with downtown and have something else that, you know, can draw people to it right there on that corner, which is a very important corner, then it could
quite a
pricey
pricey piece of real estate, I would say, especially with
Yeah.
the big, beautiful view of the Capitol building right there.
So I don't know.
I think I talked to the Secretary of Administration, Secretary Clark.
Okay, that's privileged information.
And there you go. And I'm going to tell you right now that it is his desire to make sure that those employees that work in the docking building, if they have to be displaced, to find office space in the downtown area within walking distance of the Capitol complex. That's certainly our desire too, and so we're very hopeful that they'll follow through and make that a reality.
Okay, so is that a decision that's already been made that they're going to take down the docking?
I think that's probably still being discussed, but I think it's pretty close to being a decision.
It was read that way. I mean,
yes.
when I read the article, it sounded like that.
Yeah.
I mean, there was preliminary articles out that said that it's a possibility, but then it just kind of came out and said, well, it's in 2 years, and that's the way I read it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
So, you know, I hate to see any building come down, but you know, if indeed that's the decision that the state makes, then, you know, we want to make sure that we try to keep those employees in the downtown area. And I think that will be something that does happen.
In fact, I think one last thing, you have Touch a Truck coming up.
We do. That is coming up, and that's the 30th of August. And we're moving it over to Quincy because of the construction. But the construction just makes it even better because you got even more trucks downtown. And so we've got big cranes, we got big trucks, we've got all kinds of stuff that kids can play on, and it's just going to be so much fun this year in the second year that we've had it.
And parents are probably like, thank you, I'm so glad.
From the first year, I had a great time. I mean, living down here and everything, you hear the horns. I mean, you can't miss it. The whole area is just alive with horns because the kids are banging away on them, and it was just a lot of fun. But we actually went out there and made a video, which you can find if you go to talkabouttopeka.com. Just search Touch a Truck in the search field right at the top, and it'll probably bring that video right up for you so you can watch what it looked like and see some of the kids having fun.
And kids need an outlet right at the end of summer, so that is perfect.
Perfect. Yeah.
Thank you so much for visiting us.
Thank you.
Vince Frye from Downtown Topeka Inc. We have Michelle Bryan here with us, and of course, you are the amazing chef that does all the wonderful creations and things for when you have like the Drunkard just ended.
Yep, just
and it was an amazing run.
It was fantastic.
The
totally
chef at the
sold
break
out.
room.
Yes, we should say. I'm sorry.
BreakerDowntown.com.
Tightly wound.
See, I'm just telling you, that's my job. That's what
Something that is fantastic in our area are the farmers markets.
Yes.
There's so many different days that you can go. There's one big one.
Yes, that's on Saturday morning. It's downtown here. It's great. Lots and lots of vendors, fresh produce, and there's like guys who sell beef and chicken, and it's all locally produced stuff. You can get flowers, like fresh flowers. You can get baked goods, just all kinds of amazing things. Good place to have some
breakfast and lunch too. They've got some really great vendors there.
Oh, they already have stuff made?
Yeah, like food vendors and booths. Have you not been there?
No, I have, but I just haven't been in
she didn't
like
pay
a year
attention.
or two.
She was in a catatonic
Mexican
trance.
food. You can go get yourself some tamales over there.
Oh yeah, totally.
Breakfast burritos, all that stuff. Yeah, it's fantastic.
And what time do they usually open? Like at 8
it's
in the morning?
It's at 7:30, and it runs until noon on Saturday.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. So is that something that you do when, I know that you cook obviously for a living, but when you do this, do you go out and kind of do the farmer's market thing and then kind of create your own thing at home?
Well, yeah, sometimes I do. I love to go and look at what's seasonal right now because that's so important, right, for our local community is to buy fresh and buy local products.
Buy local.
And just when things are in season, it's really the best possible version of itself. So if you go to the supermarket and you buy a tomato, for example, that tomato was picked green and stored in a warehouse, and then it was gassed actually to turn it red. They're in controlled environments, so then they turn it red, and then they put it on the shelf in the grocery store. So when you go to the farmer's market, though, that farmer raised it until it was red in their garden, and then you get it when it's a ripe, ready to eat, delicious product.
You took away that beautiful image I had in my mind of going out to get, maybe not the freshest tomato, but
but you've bought a tomato at the supermarket and it tastes like styrofoam.
Yeah, I can see that.
And that's what we're used to eating.
Yeah.
But when you go out to a farmer's market and you buy something that someone lovingly grew, from the time it was just a little plant, right? They grew it and they put their love into it and their energy into it. The flavor is so incredibly different.
And they're also not putting a lot of chemicals and extra things in it as well.
Yeah, SodaWorks is doing a really cool thing as well. And they're like I said, they're always at the farmer's market, but they've started a new soda as well here locally. It's Top City Soda Pop. So I know, Michelle, you've had some of that.
It's incredible. They're micro brewing their own root beer and bottling it here in Topeka. It's just made its debut, and it's been selling out. I know Lisa next door at the Merchant, she had I think she had like 6 bottles. I bought 4 of them.
Well, no kidding,
That's why they're selling out.
That's why they're selling out. It's so
Michelle's
good.
driving around town picking it up.
You know what?
Just
If
call
I could,
Brian,
I
man.
would.
He'll deliver
I
probably.
did. They don't have enough. They've sold out all of their retail vendors that they gave to.
That is awesome.
Since they debuted publicly.
Okay, but let's go back to SodaWorks. SodaWorks initially, they have like old time
Vintage bottles.
Vintage
sodas,
local sodas, yeah, things
Okay,
like that.
so that's what they normally have always carried, but now they're brewing their own.
Yeah.
And this is root beer.
Topeka has their own. If you kind of follow that trend, there are little regional sodas all over the place, and they bring them to town to sell them, and that's what their business has been. And now they've got a soda that's made here, so it's really putting us on the map for soda pop.
I think that's another local great thing.
It's fantastic. I'm such a root beer fan. I will take root beer over any other kind of soda. Like, I love to go around and try root beers in different places. And this is one of the best I've ever had.
They took
It's
a long
so
time.
good.
I heard him talking about this. They had kind of a preview launch at the 60th anniversary party for WIBW, and I got to taste some of it there, and I was just like, like a lot of times root beer can burn your nose as it's going down. Like, it just has a little tickle. Like, it's just, I don't know what to say. Like, it's really.
They tried so many different
They did.
recipes because sometimes there's too much carbonation, sometimes it's too bitter, sometimes one flavor overpowers the others because it should have like cinnamon and vanilla and all that stuff in
it's
it.
It's an herbal kind of a.
They took a long time to come up with this.
And it is such a fantastic product. I love it so much.
Okay, so how do you, well, should we not tell people where to get it?
Well, I think.
Do they have like a
SodaWorks,
storefront that you can go?
I know you can definitely find SodaWorks on Facebook. They're on there.
Okay,
And
so
Top
they
City
don't.
Soda Pop is too.
Yeah, Top City Soda Pop.
Okay, but do they have like a storefront?
Not yet. I don't think
They're
they have one
distributing
yet.
it.
They're distributing it to local retailers, and we're on the list, but they haven't quite gotten to us yet.
we get it,
I'm
we
so
get it
eager.
there.
Running out, or you just keep buying them all.
Well, you know.
Something like that. Oh my goodness, that's really cool. I mean, that's a way of taking local to the next degree.
Yes,
you know?
absolutely.
Yep.
It's definitely a product that people in Topeka can be proud belongs to Topeka, you know? These guys have done a fantastic job.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that gets me excited. I'm gonna have to try it. I wish we would have samples or something like
Today,
that.
we love to talk about events, and we've got Kerrice Mapes to do that with us here from 785 Magazine.
She's always the one I want to call. Be like, what are you doing this weekend?
Well, hi, thank you for having me, first of all. But yes, you called me up. What am I doing this weekend?
Yeah.
There is no hello, no niceties anymore, no. A little secret, but I love interacting with people on social media and in email. So Jamie and Jamie, we're buddies, so you can totally call me. But for those that maybe are not on a ring 6 o'clock on Friday, if you want to tweet at 785, which is all spelled out, or send us a message on Facebook and you're dying to know where karaoke is tonight, or you don't have the magazine next to you but you want to know what the drink special is, or just even a suggestion, I love answering those questions, and I do it all the time, and I'm happy to help. The only thing I ask is you let me know how fabulous of a night you had. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know that I've gone out with you. I went to the Classic Bean.
Yes.
I think it was for Jared Guth's birthday party.
Jared Guth, live music, and it was a benefit for Boys and Girls Club that they were doing, and we had a
you
good
guys
time.
were like, answering all the questions.
Yes.
People were talking about what they were doing that night and all that kind of stuff. And you want to know so that you can talk about it. Because you're going to talk about it at some
Well,
point.
and we all know this as well as, part of it is the events that places put on, but in addition, it's the people that are there. And so sometimes, if you're with a good group, you can just be in a hole in the wall place or just sitting on a patio, and it's going to be the most epic night ever.
Absolutely. Back here on Talk About Topeka with Jeremy Hall from the Brewster Foundation. How you doing, Jeremy?
Doing pretty good.
Glad to have you here in the studio with us. The Brewster Foundation. Now, we know Brewster Place, we know all of that, and the kind of some changes there. What's the foundation arm of that?
Well, everybody knows Brewster, and everybody
Yeah.
knows Brewster Place. It's easy to say that's that retirement community.
Yeah.
But it's so much more. What Brewster really is a continuing care retirement community that has everything from townhomes to assisted living to dementia support units to a rehab center. And a lot of people don't realize that Brewster is a nonprofit. And so the Brewster Foundation, which I'm the director of, our job is to raise funds in support of Brewster. If you don't like Brewster, you're not going to like the Brewster Foundation. And so a lot of my time is spent letting people know what Brewster is and that it's not just a retirement home. that you think about when you think about watching 60 Minutes when you were a kid and they had the retirement home that had, you know, tile floors and people in wheelchairs. Brewster's not like that. It's a very active living, very active lifestyle of our residents, and it's very different.
I guess I didn't know that Brewster was a nonprofit organization.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Well, he's talking about the different side on the foundation side. Is
no,
the
Brewster itself, Brewster Place.
Oh, okay.
Brewster, its place. It was founded by the Congregational Churches in Topeka, which are the. Do you know what else those churches founded?
What? I don't know.
Washburn University was also founded by the
There we
Congregational
go.
Churches. So
Excellent.
Washburn University is celebrating, what, 150 years?
Yes. Sesquicentennial.
This
It's a big word.
next year.
Yeah.
And that's very impressive. You know that.
I can
and
spell
then
it, too.
this year is actually Brewster's 50th anniversary. So we are 50 years old, but we are a nonprofit ourselves. And one of the beautiful things about that is, in a nonprofit continuing care retirement community, we have never asked anybody to leave because they've outlived their resources. And it's pretty phenomenal when somebody moves in knowing
I didn't know that.
a lot of people don't, and and that's one of the things that I am so proud of. And I hate to say I get goosebumps, but I get excited to say somebody's worked their whole life, they've decided to move into a home, a community like ours, and knowing that if something happens, they get sick and a spouse has to go into rehab or has to be in a dementia support unit, that we're not going to say, oh gosh, we've loved having you live here for 10 years.
We're going to need them.
Yeah, you ain't got any cash, you're out. And so one of the things we do is, and we do annual funds and raise money for a benevolent care fund to make sure that we never have to ask somebody to leave.
Yay, we're talking about one of my favorite things. Last year, I went to India Fest. I think that was the first time that I ever really went, but it was such an amazing thing. Today we have Sunil Gotru and Sahil Ratan. Did I say that correctly?
Absolutely.
Oh, yes,
You
that's
did good. You
awesome.
get a
I
great start
know. And I didn't want to have to start this whole segment. It was scary. Okay, this is actually a fantastic event. And what people maybe don't know about in the city of Topeka and in the surrounding areas is that you go ahead and donate. All of the money that comes from this, you are donating right back to the community, and you pick a special group.
Absolutely, yes. We do that every year. We pick up a local charitable organization, and we donate all the money to that organization by cooking like different types of foods, actually from different parts of India, and we make that homemade food there. And the greatest part here is the volunteers also contribute. Actually, they bring a lot of food, and we sell that food to all the people in the community, and we raise a lot of money out of it. And
this has been 12 years that
yes,
you've had a festival. And how did it start?
The reason it was started in 2003 actually by a person called Lakshmi Donepudi, and she wanted to bring it out. Her goal was to bring Indian culture into people of Topeka, and introduce Indian cultures into Topeka. So we wanted to do something for the community here. We're all so proud to be in Topeka, and we're so happy that the community in Topeka has got us in and have involved us in many activities and stuff. We wanted to do something to give back to the community. So we thought about multiple things, and we wanted to do something which is useful to any of the organizations. So the whole reason was to raise a lot of money out of it, and then we give it to the charity. And we find a lot of sponsors to sponsor our infrastructure, especially like for the stage or for the hall, things like that. That way we can save money for the organization which we're going to donate.
And you have dancing, and you do very special things.
Yes.
We're in the studio with my 10th grade biology teacher, Miss Sherry Lundry. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm great. Long time no see.
I know.
We came out to Winter Wonderland and did a little video there, so every time anybody who wants to find out more about that, they can check it out on talkabouttopeka.com.
We did. We walked all the way through. We talked a long time. It was
behind the scenes. It was very cool.
It was really fun for me to do that.
Yeah, but
and are you in charge of going through and taking all the little light bulbs and changing them?
I'm Bree and I, yes.
Oh, really? Yes. You are? Oh, my goodness. That is amazing. Okay.
Yes, we really are.
We're speaking with Sherry Lundry right now. She's the development director at TARC. And we were just speaking earlier about India Fest 2014. And you are the beneficiary of their event this year.
We are, and we're very excited about that. We were chosen by their community to get the net proceeds from India Fest, and we're working with them. And it's going to be a fabulous opportunity for our folks to actually learn more about their culture, as well as for Bree and I, because I am uneducated where that is, where that goes to. So I'm very excited about that. And it is going to be a wonderful day. And they are just very generous folks.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful event. Every year people look forward to India Fest, and then to be able to help out such a great cause and how it's all come together is really a beautiful package, I think, and something that the entire community should celebrate here.
Yes, absolutely. We're hoping that a lot of people come out and experience the food and the culture, the dancing and the art. It's going to be a really fun day. It's kind of a short day, 10 to 2, so it's only 4 hours. So you want to make sure you get there early and stay and enjoy everything that they have to offer, because I think it will go quickly and I think the food will go quickly. So you want to make sure you get there in plenty of time, because it does, I believe, sell out a lot of the time. So
there's a lot of effort put in, and they also, I don't know if I said this on our last segment, where they cook the chicken in big, pots outside on an open fire. It's amazing that you can just watch them make it and then you get to eat it. It's just amazing.
That's one of the things that they talk to us about, is that they do it all fresh. They want to make sure they have enough to do fresh food, that it's not prepared and then brought. They actually prepare fresh food, so it's not, you're not getting food that's been rewarmed and warmed up from a day before when they fixed it. So they're very, very proud of that, that they do that fresh and that the food is, the best that they can make it.
Now, something else to remember, this is going to be at the Big Gauge Shelter House. This is right next to the Topeka Zoo. You have to be careful because of the parking. There is kind of a competition for the zoo and the Big, Gauge Shelter House that's right there. So, just kind of be wary of that. And it's going to be a hot day, but it is so worth it to eat their food. Plus, one more thing, they only take cash. So they don't have squares. They don't do it that way. They do it just with cash, and then they give you tickets, and then you can use the tickets and purchase. But
I want to know how you can predict that August 23rd is going to be a hot day from now.
I just assume.
I think we should get you on the weather team.
I think so too, man. And it's so fun. There's just so many fun things to do. It's just, that is the epitome of what we should be doing, is celebrating each other.
Absolutely. And that is one thing about TARC. For those folks who don't know what TARC is, we serve infants through 3 and adults and seniors who have developmental and related disabilities. And we have a very diverse population. We do not turn anyone away in the infant through 3 program. So we have a very diverse group that we work with. And it is just as important to us to be diverse and to celebrate diversity as it is for them, and to educate people about what we do as they're trying to educate people about their culture. So it's a really nice partnership, and it's a win-win partnership. We're so thrilled to be part of it.
Amazing stuff.
It is.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Wonderful event, wonderful organization. So get out and support it, folks. And that's all the time we have here on this episode of Talk About Topeka.
Visit talkabouttopeka.com to hear full interviews of all our guests. Connect with us anytime on Facebook and Twitter. Listen live and hear more from Chris and Jamie from 7 to 8 a.m. every weekday on The Big Talker, KMAJ 1440. And keep talking about Topeka.
Right? Goodbye. Yes,
we're
we
leaving?
will. Yes.
Is that what we're doing?
Yes.
Okay, well, goodbye.